So really quickly, I mean, where I'm at with the V3 of your guys' API is it's in essence what I've been calling it is you get to move from passing notes in class to having a direct phone call with somebody now. You're able to choose exactly what you want. And let me go ahead and show you what I'm talking about. Uh, what even is an API? The way that I tend to explain APIs when I'm talking about it is it's very similar to going to a drive-through window at your favorite drive-through, guilty pleasure restaurant. You pull up and place an order, and these are outside tools like a Zapier or Make or your HRIS system, or if you've Claude coded an agent or whatnot. You go in and you place your order. Then there's a series of API documentation, which is basically the menu, and it tells you what you can have, and it actually tells you how to ask for it as well. Then Greenhouse in this case is the kitchen, where it's going to go ahead and prepare what you've asked for, and then it puts it in the car for you. And what you get back is specifically what you asked for. So it could be information about jobs, information about candidates, information about applications, information about interviews, kind of all of these things. So the Harvest API has gotten a little bit more advanced. In the past, I liken it to kind of a skeleton key. You had a single permanent password. I, the joke I made is like it's literally like giving your house key to every contact or babysitter, dog walker out there. And then if you if you fall out of love with your dog walker, then you got to go ahead and change the locks if they don't want to give you a key back, sort of thing. And now we're in a new way where it's a hotel key card. We've all had hotel key cards. I mean, we can turn them on, turn them off. It only works one room, or if you go ahead and add another room, you can add another room. If you lose it, it's really not a big deal. You can go ahead and walk down to the lobby and get yet another hotel key card. And that's all facilitated with this OAuth 2.0. The reason I call that out is like, this is an ATS, a tool for recruiting and for us talent folks that is now having the same level of security as like massive enterprise, Microsoft, Slack, like the big enterprise tools. And then, why does that actually matter? So here are the couple things that got better. We talked about the hotel key concept of things to where no more permanent passwords. Now you get a token each time that it's going to auto expire. If your hotel key doesn't work next week, sort of thing. I talked about the precision data. Instead of getting one massive data set back, you now are actually able to ask for specifically what you want. So to use the drive-through analogy, they don't put the whole restaurant in the back seat. They only are going to hand out through the window what it is you're asking for. And even more so than that, you can now do the filtering of exactly what you want back in the Greenhouse system before it comes to me. So for all of us that have to live in this world of like token spend and every letter costs an eighth of a nickel sort of thing, the fact that we can do the sorting on your side before it comes to us is a huge advantage. I don't actually even know how to say pagentation. I looked it up. But long story short, it remembers where you're at. So before, when we would have to, go back to Greenhouse and do something, we basically started at page one again. Now it knows the last thing that we ordered. So imagine your drive-through, it knows the last time you got a burger, it's going to know that, do you want a burger or do you want to go ahead and move on to dessert? And the final piece, like the speed limits, this just once again, we live in a world to which the more control you can offer a builder, the better. So now we can actually have every response tell like how many requests we have left, and we can set limits. So key takeaways are all right here. I'm not going to dip too much into this. I want to hop into what we're going to do. So what we're going to do is show you how to get access to this API, and then I'm going to show you kind of a neat way that we built a little system to be able to use it. So
Jason, can I ask one question? Like conceptually, what does this mean? Like before it was possible to build on top of your ATS, but really you needed to be a developer. And now as like a TA builder, I can do it fairly comfortably. Is that kind of the shift you're seeing here?
Yeah, it's much I would argue it's much easier now to build it on your own because you are specifically telling Greenhouse what you want it to give you so that you can build, as opposed to having, basically going in the back of the kitchen and then having to go ahead and build. Now it's coming to you through the drive-through.
Got it. Well, someone's commented it's pagination.
Thank you very much. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
I think it probably depends on what country you live in.
Oh wow, controversial.
There we go. Um, all right. So here's how you go about getting all this goodness that I'm talking about. So here is my greenhouse sandbox. Shout out sandbox. You go here to configure. Off to the left, there is a section that's called Dev Center. If you do not have that section, talk to your operations person, the person that's kind of owning your greenhouse. They may have to do this for you. But the gist of it is you hit Dev Center, you go up here to API credentials, and you go ahead and create API credentials. So we're going to call it, let's call it drive through because I keep talking about food right now. And then look what it's going to give me. It's going to give me a client key and a client secret. These are important. Copy them, save them someplace so that you have them later. And we're actually now going to take this and go and I'll show you how to use it in make.com. But one thing I wanted to show too, I already have these saved someplace. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. Also too, normally I wouldn't be comfortable showing my client key and client secret on a YouTube stream. But because I can go ahead and shut things down so easily, I actually don't mind. Let's do this. See, I can go here. I can shut things down. I can go in and I can edit. There's a whole host of different functionality that I have now. Now, let's take a look at what we do with it. Nope, wrong one. Me messing with my new camera that I got yesterday, all my settings. This is make.com. So make.com is a no-code automation platform. There's a ton of them out there. You've got, obviously you got Make, you've got Zapier, you've got N8N, you've got the replets and the lovables and all the cursors and anti-gravity. There's a whole host of things that can do what we're going to show. But the general takeaway is this is the first piece. This is I call it token grabber. This is me walking down the lobby to go ahead and get my hotel key.
Can you zoom?
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Always. Oh wow, look at that. So much different. Let's try this. How about this? That's a little better. Each one of these blue pieces is something that is communicating directly with Greenhouse. And by the way, too, we will give away the JSON blueprint file for this on the YouTube. We'll put a link to it, so you could literally go and grab this, in a couple hours. So we will give this away for y'all. But this token grabber is walking down to the lobby to get your hotel key, and I've already got it connected to Greenhouse. But if I wanted to do it again, remember my client and client secret? That is my username and password. So I go ahead, I go in here, and it now knows to call up Greenhouse and tell Greenhouse I need that hotel key. So it creates the hotel key, and then it uses the hotel key that was created to go in and grab 3 very specific things. Remember I said you can kind of grab whatever you want? The list is incredibly long of all the different things you could grab. For this use case, we're going to grab information about applications, information about jobs themselves, and information about candidates. So it grabs these things, and then it becomes a data set. And those data sets, you can throw AI against. So I think I'm using Claude on this one. Let me double check. Yep, Claude 4.6. We're spending all the money today to make this look good. So what happened was we went down to the hotel, we got the key. That key gave us information on people, jobs, and where they are at in the process. And then we threw it against AI. And it's a Monday morning. I want every recruiter that works for me to be able to have a vision into where their pipeline sits every Monday morning. And then from here, actually, I'm going to run it. There we go. Okay. So there you go. I just went down to the lobby and got a new key. So it is now analyzing all of the data. And let me show you what is going to happen. My use case for this, I did it on Monday morning, but imagine if you were a recruiting manager and you have 5 different recruiters working for you. You could set this up so that 20 minutes before each weekly one-on-one, you get a full breakdown of a pipeline sent to you. And this is what it looks like. So we talk about data, we talk about analytics. I would argue that part of data is so that we can tell stories. But using this very simple thing with V3, we're actually skipping even the data and going straight to the story. I got 3 jobs that are open right now. I have a clear sign of where each person is. Then it has an actual kind of recruiter grade analysis associated with it. It's a little stressed that Simba has been at the offer stage since the 27th. And then over here for the engineering role, we've got no applicants. So we got to light this up. Candidates who may be stuck. So it looks at time and stage to make sure that you're able to review folks. And then down here, like I can imagine sitting with a recruiter and number one is like, yo, Simba needs to accept or decline. Like, let's go ahead and make this happen. Why do you not have anybody in that engineering role? And I noticed, and I also did a hygiene check. I noticed that Woody is already at interview, but he doesn't even have an email or a phone number in. Like, so how are we going to go ahead and set up his interview? So you are now empowered as a leader to be able to have real conversations as opposed to just having to, look at a spreadsheet. And let's see if it worked. It did. There we go. It did work. Okay.
Relief. Quick, well, two things. One, not convinced by Simba's coding skills myself, so engineering role feels crazy. But more serious question. So Reese said, any pushbacks from InfoSec teams with GDPR, EU-based businesses extracting data? I think it's a great call out. Like, this is hiring data, it's sensitive data, right? Like, I'm guessing the recommendation here is like, don't throw this into a free version of Make. Like, you need the enterprise grade automation LLM to go alongside this. It's going to keep your data in a secure environment, right, Jason?
100%. Yes. Obviously, what we were showing you guys was, Simba, believe it or not, is not an actual candidate. But yes, anything that you're going to throw. So that module that was gray that we used Opus, like that is using, like an actual API for your large language model. Like make sure you're using the one that's, your work has given you, be it Gemini or OpenAI or Claude or whatnot. And yes, from a Make perspective, make sure in my case, the Make that we use at work is behind our SSO. So it's within our Okta, so it's secure.
And then more broadly, like how are you thinking about this, right? So you've shown how the API works, super useful, shown how you can get information out. Like what is this, like, is this the only use case? Like how are you thinking about how this can be more useful?
Yeah, I was thinking about it this morning when you and I were chatting. Like I think that one of my kind of challenges always when I was a recruiter was the not putting, your feedback in the system sort of thing. I think you could build a really sophisticated situation to where you get like it's not just a random reminder that is in, kind of robot speak. You could have a bespoke, hey Joe, you interviewed Simba. Everybody else likes Simba. We got to make a call on him. Like, please go ahead and put your feedback in the system. I think another sort of interesting use case too is running your own sentiment-based analysis on stuff. Like we actually took the entirety of our greenhouse, which was quite large, and dropped it into Snowflake and now are running like sentiment analysis on top of it, where we can throw a job description in and it will go ahead and tell us who's good or bad. That's me taking my entire greenhouse. Now I could literally just take 3 recs, or I could take everybody that works for competitor A and put it into, a data lake and throw a job description against it.
Love it.